Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So I've been dropping a lot of Apple Watch videos recently. I dropped my Apple Watch 1 last year, 2 years ago, Apple Watch 2, 3. Now we get to the fourth one, and this is my main Apple Watch that I'm using every day. I am not wealthy enough to go pick up the Watch Series 5 yet. So once I figured that my financial stuff out, then I'll pick up the Series 5. But I'll be honest, I was using the Series 2 before, and that watch is pretty much the most capable watch I ever needed. I was using the first Apple Watch, the Series 0, for a very long time. The first 2 years I owned a watch, then I switched to the Series 2 last year, and I used that up until about 2-3 weeks ago, and the Series 2 was very, very capable. I felt like, yeah, it was a little glitchy here and there. Whatever I needed to do with it, it worked. I kind of relate that to the iPhone 6S. But this Apple Watch Series 4 has been that on steroids. It has been such a smooth sailing device, and I really don't have anything to complain about coming at least from a Series 2. Now, one thing I really liked about this watch, and that was kind of overhyped, was the screen. Apparently they said it was going to be way bigger and this and that, and there's less bezel. And there is less bezel, but for some reason, every time I looked at the photos and everything, I thought it was going to be more bezel-less or have less bezel on it, but that's not really the case. I can still see quite a bit of bezel on it. It's not that big of a deal though. But when I look at my Series 2 and I look at my Series 4, I don't really think there's that big of a difference on it. And the Series 5 is built the same way, so it's not really that big of a deal though. I'm not really freaking out about it too much. Now looking on the front, we can see we have a 1.7 inch LTPO OLED display. It's a very good display. Coming from a Series 2, I don't see that big of a difference, but it's a very good display. I like it a lot. The Series 5 has the same type of display technology too, so not a big difference there. So this watch still holds up in 2020 quite a bit. It does have water resistance, which is really cool, but most of these things you guys pretty much already know about. But we just saw watchOS 6.1.1 get released, and I didn't really know there were a lot of different features with it, but apparently it actually brought a calculator app, which I'm really happy to kind of mess with. And the watch overall, the smoothness of it and everything has been great, and the software is more or less the same as what was on my Apple Watch Series 2. There's not really that big of a difference between them, if I'm being honest. So that really makes me think if you want to save money, you can go pick up a Series 2 and be set, even a Series 3, and I've already reviewed the Series 3 as well. And both those watches are still very capable and a bit cheaper than a Series 4. Now, in terms of the performance and everything, this thing was released with the Apple S4 chip, a dual-core CPU surprisingly, and internally there is 16 gigabytes in it, so I was surprised about that. They actually had 8 gigabytes in the previous one I had, and they jumped that up to 16, and now with the amount of watches that I see every day, and especially all these phone manufacturers and even watch manufacturers hitting me up, and they email me, they say, sponsor this watch, oh, we'll send you this, give it, and I get those all the time, but I can never ever think of replacing my Apple Watch with another watch. And ever since I bought the Series 4 and I've been using it, it has been a smooth performing device. It has been literally as soon as I click something on it, it's just very smooth. It might be a little glitchy here and there for sure, but really anything I throw at it, it's capable of it. Now I'll tell you what I use my Apple Watch for mostly every day. So whenever I get a call, I look at it on my watch. If I get a text, I look at it on my watch, Snapchats, Instagram DMs, whatever. Usually whenever I get a notification, I look at my watch first before I look at my phone. And really it's been a smooth experience so far. I rarely ever take calls. I rarely ever message anybody through my watch, but I have recently been testing it out, and I've been usually testing out the voice thing, the voice to text thing, and that has been very cool, and it's actually been way more accurate and way more smoother and faster than what it was on my Series 2. And even on watchOS 6, I was kind of scared to update before I was on watchOS 5 and it was smooth, and I was scared to update to watchOS 6 because when I was on my Series 0, I upgraded my watch and I updated it, and I think it was watchOS 4 it ended on, and it really messed up my watch. It was super laggy, and it was good enough for me because I barely used it besides checking a couple things. But on my Series 4, it's been handling 6.1.1 very good, and I really, really like it a lot. And the best thing about this watch would definitely be the battery life. Coming from a Series 2, that thing would be about 30% by the end of the day. On my Series 4, even now, I bought this thing used, and the battery's probably degraded a little bit. It doesn't even tell me how big the size battery is, but literally by the end of every single day, I'm ending at about 80%, north of 80%, usually 85%, around that area, and that is so amazing. I love that so much about this watch. It's very dependable. Really, if I do anything with it, it's going to be capable enough. The only thing maybe I would recommend Apple doing, at least in the future, is not even a hardware thing at all. Keep it the same, I don't really care. It's just a software. I'm really hoping that they can add a lot more watch faces. That would be really cool. I like the ones that they still have, But it'd be cool if we can add a lot more customizability, add a lot more things, and with a size watch like the Apple Watch Series 4, I had the biggest one, I feel like they can do a little bit more with it, but I'm not really freaking out about it too much. So to kind of sum up the video, I really like my Apple Watch Series 4. I think in 2020 it definitely holds up. It's a crazy killer device that has a lot going for it, and if I were you, if you're in the market for a Series watch, you want a newer one, I would recommend going for a Series 4. If you want to save the most amount of money, go for a Series 2. If you want to save a little bit of money, go for the Series 3. But if you're okay spending a little bit more money but not necessarily paying full price like for the Series 5, I would 100% recommend picking up an Apple Watch Series 4 in 2020. So that pretty much covers that. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.